Welcome back, everyone, to our Making It Fun gameplay series in NASCAR Heat 3. So, we have had some technical issues, and by we, I mean me. Wow. This is certainly not the race I wanted to happen on, but we had some technical difficulties at Martinsville, so I'm not going to be able to show you anything with a race at Martinsville. I won't go into details about what happened. It's really not all that important. The main thing is, I'm not going to get to show you Martinsville, and I was so looking forward. In fact, that's the reason why I bought our second chassis as a short track chassis. I was really looking forward to Martinsville. Unfortunately, it did not work out. So what you see on the screen right now are the results of Martinsville. 18th place, $21,000, and picking up 18 fans. But that's not the big thing that I want to take a look at here. We were unable to meet the requirements. Okay, that's fine. Yep, we've got some stuff to talk about here because I got to catch you guys up. All right, now we're back to getting these terrible messages, and I'm starting to think that when our car is not even fully upgraded, but not even halfway upgraded or anything like that, that's why we're getting these messages. It doesn't make a lot of sense that you would do that. To me, if somebody simulates a race, why would you even go through this? I mean, there's really no reason at all to even go through this process. Just skip over the Twitter feed and move on. So I am very, very unhappy that it's happened this way, but we're going to move on, and we're going to be just fine. It's only one race out of an entire series, so I'm going to try and get over this and move on. So our incentive contract, do you remember just a couple of screens ago, it told me we failed in our incentive contract? Yes, that is because I chose four top 15s in the next four races. Well, unfortunately, the first race, Martinsville, all sorts of issues. So we failed immediately. So it's going to give us an opportunity for a new incentive contract. Thank goodness. So we're going to try to get two top 10s because I see no reason to go for the top 15s when you can go for top 10s. Okay, he's put out some feelers. I am dying to know what he's got. Okay, he's got really nothing. Nothing very much. We could contact the team if we wanted to, but for the most part, we don't really need to. Now, the next thing I need to catch you guys up on is in preparing for the race, you notice we have another chassis. And that's because, again, in some of the footage that I unfortunately am not going to be able to use, we had talked about we had just enough money after our last dirt race and truck race to purchase another chassis or do some upgrades to employees and that kind of thing. And I chose to go ahead and purchase the chassis while we had the money. And then I knew later on we could get into employees and all that kind of thing. So, because one of the things I want to do very soon is I want to get our engine up to 90. I feel like at 90, that is going to be a good number for us to contend for some wins. We've seen already that we have pretty good pace, but these guys are killing us down the straightaways. So I feel like ultimately we're going to need to do that. But I don't currently have any plans to increase the aero or the suspension any at all. So we'll see how all this goes. But the main thing is right now we have $21,000 and we have an opportunity for right now. We're just going to do some training. We don't really need any additional employees. I have a little bit more training we can do on aero for Harrison and suspension for Stella to get them up to 15, but that's going to be very expensive. And right now, ultimately what I want to do is get her to 5, because with her at 5 and Andrew at 15, that'll get us to 90 overall once we're able to purchase that upgrade. So we'll spend $1,200 and get her trained, and then we're going to save the rest because we need to save up that 45 grand in order to get there. All right, so let's go ahead and adjust our work plan. So our Speedway chassis is already looking really good. 85, 83, and 83, which is basically maxed out for where we are right now for the most part. Then our short track is back to all 70s after the Martinsville race. And then we've got another Speedway chassis here that I purchased that has 73 on the engine. And that's because Jillian had been doing a little bit of work on this. So we're going to continue that right here with Andrew and let him do some work. Of course, we don't need quite everything he has to offer. So what I'm going to do here is, I know there's really not anything else to do. I mean, we could go from 83 to 85 on these things, but I don't really care to do that right now. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to go ahead and get these guys working on this stuff. And then that way this Speedway chassis will be in great shape going forward. And then we can work on some other chassis and that kind of thing as we move forward. All right, so let's go ahead and start our work plan. Okay, everything looks good. Of course, we didn't need to use quite all of our employees just yet. And it remains to be seen. I really, really want to upgrade this truck, and then same thing with Xfinity and Cup. I really want to upgrade it as high as I can, because that's a big part of the fun for me in this game. That's why I want to be an owner of a team, is I want to manage the employees and have to grind it out. So we'll see how all that goes, but I really, really want to improve our equipment. Let's go ahead and work our way back out. So now it's time for Dover, and I believe we are all set. Let's head to the track. All right, it is race time here at Dover, and I'm feeling really good about this because we're starting 22nd. Now, that might seem odd to say I'm feeling good about it, but starting this far back, what we just talked about is I think this is going to mean we can really upgrade our car a lot more going forward, because we are certainly not killing them with speed right now. All right, I'm going to try to give everybody plenty of room here as we get started. Stage 1 is going to be 22 laps. And then if things go as they have been for the first few races, it seems as though the play... Ooh, watch out. It seems like the play is going to be to pit after the end of the first stage and then stay out for the remainder. Alright, I'm going to have to get my rhythm back at Dover. That's what you get for not running any practice laps. In the trucks here at this track, you barely have to lift going through the corners. It's just a little bit of a lift on entry, maybe to 50% throttle, probably not any more than that. Any more of a lift than that, but it just depends on how deep you want to get in there. But while we're in traffic, I'm having to get completely out of the gas going into the corner to try to give these guys room and figure out where I stack up as far as speed. Of course, we're naturally hoping that we can get into the top 10 and get some of those stage points, but that's going to be very hard to do in 22 laps starting from where we did. Alright, so far so good. I mean, the truck is handling perfectly fine using the setup that I posted here on the channel, with just a few minor adjustments to account for our not upgraded condition.
Still there.
Oh yeah, you could see that truck have a lot of trouble on corner exit coming off turn 2, and we were able to easily pull to their inside. All right, so we got a little bit of an open track here, running in 16th place. And you can see, whenever we have open track, we're certainly able to run these guys down. Let's just see what we can do with them, though. Obviously, these guys, the closer we get to the front, the faster they're going to be.
Stay low, still there.
So far, so good.
Still there.
Yeah, I feel good about our speed if we can just ever get the timing right to when we're going to be able to make a move on these guys. But Chavis right now is, of course, he's just following in line, just like the 52 truck of Friesen in front of him. I would really like to get clear of running side by side, lap after lap, but there's really nowhere for me to go right now. Just trying to bide my time. This is why it's so important to have a setup for this track in particular that is really good in traffic and very stable, as opposed to just worrying about speed. Because if you just worry about speed and then you get in traffic like this, heavy traffic, then you can be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I can hang that bottom, just modulate the throttle a little bit here and there, and easily adjust the lines I'm running and the speeds I'm running through the corners. All right, so we got a little bit of open track here. Let's see if we can't stretch our legs a little bit. We're getting closer to that top 10. Sitting currently in 14th, and we are coming up on halfway in this race after, I believe, one more lap. We'll be at halfway in this particular stage of the race. So we're making some good progress, and I see, what is that, 4 trucks immediately in front of Chavis here. So if we can get by Chavis. Oh, look out. Wow, that was close. As you could see, he did not give us any room going into the corner, even though we were already there. So we'll back up. We'll try again. I knew that was coming, but just something about it told me that, you know what, it looks like he's actually going to give it to me. But boy, was I wrong about that. So stuck my nose in there where it didn't belong and got caught.
Still there. All right, 10 to go. You can nice and go for it.
All right, so now we're stuck on this outside,
Still there.
and that is not good. And of course, you see Chavis is running the high side now for whatever reason. He certainly wasn't doing that a moment ago when we were trying to pass him.
Down low now. Got one down low. Inside. Hold your line.
So now we're stuck on the outside, and basically we're just going to go to the back of this little group of cars because we don't have the speed to pass these guys on the outside, not this far up in the pack. Well, you can see Chavis is really struggling right now. He got himself up in that high groove, and so we're going to try to see if we can get under him coming off the corner. And if we have just enough engine power, we might be able to do it. And yeah, we're there this time.
All right, now you're clear.
Oh yeah, these guys, look at this. We just got a long train going, and I have zero interest in trying to ride along at the very back of this, so I'm going to get impatient pretty quick with this. These guys not racing each other, but just playing follow the leader, and I'm going to try to pass some cars. I can't really get a good run on them on the inside, and I've got really nothing to lose here by trying the outside. In worst case scenario, we go right back to the back of this pack where we already were. So I'm going to try to pinch them down. Of course, with the AI, you don't really have to worry about them needing a whole lot of room. So we're going to pinch them down a good bit and take our chances. All right, I would like nothing better than to be able to get back down to the bottom and start making some passes there, but with these guys running nose to tail like this, not much chance of that happening anytime soon.
Hold your line. Stay up high. Stay high.
Ouch.
Inside. Inside. Hang tight there, driver.
So
Hold
Peters
this line.
decided he needed a little bit more room than I was giving him, so he was going to take it. Interesting that the AI can get away with driving that way. If I drive that way, then I get bad Twitter messages.
All right, careful now. Still there.
All right, so this feels like an exercise in futility to try to pass these guys on the outside, but I really don't have a much better option. But this is certainly not working
All
out.
right, careful now. Still there.
We made a little headway at first, but now,
A couple more turns. 2 more. 2 to go.
all right, we got 2
Hold your
laps
line.
to
Stay
go,
high. Stay high. Still there.
and we are certainly not in position to get any stage points.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
We're going to try to
Hold
get
your
everything
line.
we
Stay
can,
high.
regardless.
Stay high. Still there. White flag. Bring it home. Still there. Still there.
Got a little bit too high
Tires on your inside.
in that
Inside.
corner, and that is going to cost us that one final position that I thought we might be able to
Drive
get.
it, that stage
So we're
driver.
coming home 17th in stage 1. Certainly not what we wanted. I think we've got a little bit better speed than that. Perhaps the ability to. Let's go ahead and pit before I forget. All right, let's go ahead and put 1 can in, and we'll put right sides, and hopefully we won't lose too many spots here. 24th. Okay, that's not terrible. We lost 7 spots.
All right, you're coming to the green. Be
That's
ready.
better than going straight to the back. So we're learning. We're learning what things we can do. It's odd that,
Inside.
because you would think that there would be an option to just say, look, fill it up, put the 2 full cans in there, and then anything you do beyond that, if it's just a splash is all it needs, then it will simply put a splash in it. But it seems like it gives you the time penalty for adding 2 cans if you say 2 cans, regardless of whether your truck will hold. Ouch. Okay, did not know I was 3 wide there,
Still there.
but we survived. And once again, the name of the game is just going to be to get back to the bottom
Still there.
as soon as we can, looking for a hold. Because running out here on this outside.
All clear. All clear.
All right, there we go. Let's see if we can stay down here.
Stay on the bottom here for me. Still there.
So again, in traffic, basically coming all the way out of the gas on corner entry. Lifting way early there because I knew Coughlin was going to try and cover that spot. All right, so this is tough sledding at Dover. This is one of the reasons why I love racing at this
Still
track.
there.
The racing is very tough and very
Still
close.
there.
This is a very difficult track to get around.
Stay on the bottom here for me. All right, careful now. Still there.
All right, going into that corner 3 wide, that was just me having a little bit of fun. Normally, that's not a move I would want to make in stage 2,
Need you to stay on the bottom right here. Still there.
but at this point, we're just trying to make up some positions and have some fun.
Still there.
And we got to get back closer to the front. I mean, my goodness.
Clear all around.
This is certainly not going to help our point standings any if we can't get out of the 20s.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
Oh, watch out.
Track's all yours, bud. You're clear. Awesome.
Let's see if we can get back to the inside of Coughlin. He is putting up quite a fight with us.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
Let's see if we can make up some ground behind Anderson. Ooh, watch out.
Careful, still there. Inside, inside, inside.
Oh, I'm in the middle of 3 wide here.
Stay high, stay high. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
Oh, look out, lines. Tight racing. I love it. All right, so we're back to 22nd again. Certainly not where we want to be. We're going to need a lot more speed if we're going to compete at Dover.
Stay low, still there.
All right, I almost jumped into the brakes right there because I was having visions of what happened a little earlier in the race, and I thought he was going to come down and cut us off.
All right, careful now, still there.
So that was a bit of an ugly corner, but we survived.
Got all the room you need. You're clear. Car on the outside now.
Wow.
Inside.
I keep thinking he's going to give me that space because I'm there, but they never do.
Still
So,
there. All right, clear outside.
all right, we got a nice run on Thorson. Let's see if we can get to his inside far enough that he will actually not cut us off.
Still there.
There we go.
All right, clear outside.
All right, a little bit of open track now. We are thankfully in the top 20. All right, I'm going to have to recalibrate and remember how to drive this thing when there's no other cars around, because we've spent probably 95% of this race, if not more, running 2 and 3 wide, so that is certainly a different driving style than open track. All right, so once again, we're certainly not looking at the possibility of stage points, not with the way things stand right now, but at this point we don't plan on, as long as the fuel works out like it has in the first few races, and we don't have to stop for fuel, then I won't be stopping at all. So any positions we can pick up here, we will maintain into the third and final stage, because I don't anticipate us being able to move up any and gain any position, simply because I don't think anybody's going to pit here.
Five to
All
go.
right,
You
well, we
got
got
this.
5 more to go here in this stage, and we are running these guys down in front of us, but not very quickly. So again, just like I say in every race, and want to reiterate here, on one hand, the competitive side of me really wants to be running up front, at least closer to the front, top 5s and minimum top 10. But then the other part of me, the owner part of me, and the gamer part of me says, you know what, it's good that our car at this particular point, being an 85, 83, and 83, I think is what it is, but in the mid 80s, cannot compete for top 5s at Dover. That is a beautiful thing. So that's what I'm trying to keep in mind. It is always a lot of fun to try to get the most out of the car, whether it's a 20th place car or a race winning car. Alright, I don't think we're going to quite have enough time to catch these guys and then try to do anything with them. We're going to get right up to them, but I just don't know that we're going to have any time to try to make a pass. Sometimes I think the AI taunts me a little bit when they run high like that through the corner. Then I try to get below them and they cut me off to get to the bottom of the next corner. Oh, trying so hard to get under him there when he slid up. I was hard in the gas, just didn't have enough power to get to him. All right, so that'll do it for stage number 2. And once again, I really wish they would think about letting us get to the start-finish line at the end of these stages when we're not in the top 10. Okay, estimated fuel. Oh, we are going to have to pit. Okay. Wow. Okay, so never mind about that. Let's do... Where are we doing? I can't do... Really? Oh, my goodness. That's no good. Alright, so that's what we need. I guess we'll just go ahead and get 4 tires. Wow. So we're going to the back, I would imagine, here. 26th. Yeah, we're last car on lead lap. We lost 6 positions, and let's begin the fun of stage 3. So we ended up needing the fuel there. At least I'm hoping we did. I'm hoping I didn't just misread that and get my numbers flipped, because that would certainly not be good, because it would mean we made an extra pit stop and lost a bunch of positions we didn't need to lose. Alright, so we got basically 50 laps in this final stint. So our goal, just like it always is going to be to make up whatever spots we can. Got an opportunity here to get to the bottom, and I plan on taking it. Now let's see if Quapple is going to be able to move forward and we can go with him. I would prefer not to try to take it 3 wide, but he's going to leave me no choice, so I'm going to take it. Okay, he's going to beat and bang on us. Try to keep it down to the bottom and give him as much room as I can. Alright, and we made it. Now we're back up to line, so a lot of these guys look familiar. Oh, really? Wow, okay. So I guess we'll do that.
Halfway down, halfway to go.
So we'll, as always, we'll back up, try it again. And then again, just to add insult to injury, the next corner, what does he do? He goes to the high side.
Here for me. Still there. Still there. Clear all around.
Let's see if we can get to the inside. Oh, look out, 7.
Up top. Got a car high now. Still there.
It is so hard for me to recalibrate how I think about this, because I know I'm there, but the AI just does not care. You can be there all you want to, but unless you're much farther along than that, they just don't care. Alright, let's see if we can get it far enough alongside him this time.
Still there.
There we go. Gave us a little bit of room that time, and we'll be on our way. But you have to be aggressive here at Dover if you're going to make any passes, because if I simply back out of it every time we get close to one of these other trucks, then we are never going to get anywhere. So you got to take a few chances here and there.
Still there.
Alright, man, after all that struggle, we're still 1 spot away from being in the top 20. Good news is, we got 46 laps to go. Alright, so far so good. And I see our old pal Jordan Anderson just in front of us. And we're running these guys down, but just not quickly enough that we're going to be able to make up a whole lot of positions, because it takes us a lot of laps to run these guys down, considering how many we have left to go.
Good job.
All right, let's see if we can get a good run coming off the corner. Can we get to his inside? Well, we can, but not far enough. So we'll back off, try it again. Eventually I will learn my lesson, but probably not yet. So this is one of those times that lets us know just where we stand on speed, because I have enough speed to get by him, but it's going to be extremely hard to pass him because he can stay far enough ahead of me on the straightaway that I can't get position on corner entry very easily. So we have somewhere between a 15th and a 20th place car on raw speed, I would imagine. And again, I'm not even going to chalk this one up to handling, because the truck is handling great. I have zero complaints there. I think this one's just going to come down to horsepower. If we had maybe that getting to 90 on the horsepower will help us out. Maybe that will be what we need to give us that little extra oomph to get there. Now at Dover, which every track is a little different, but at Dover, I think we could use a lot of upgrades. A lot of upgrades. In fact, I dare say we could be very close to full strength and still have some good racing with the AI at Dover. Unfortunately, that's not the case at all of the tracks. So we're still going to have to be very judicious about upgrading our car. Yeah, I mean, I can get right there, but I don't quite have enough to get to his inside where I need to be at his inside. Like right here. All right, we managed to get position. Wow, Nemechek going really slow there.
All around.
All right, now we'll start the process over again and see what we can do about setting up Joe Nemechek for a pass. Oh, man, that was so close. We are certainly right there, and I mean right there on him. If he gets out of the gas very much at all and gets out of shape or anything like that, then we will be all over him, and chances are it's going to be a big wreck. Because I am not giving him any room. He's not giving me a whole lot of room either when I try to get to his inside. Alright, here we go. We got a little bit of a run on him. But you can see we stall out on the straightaways. We don't keep gaining on him. So, ooh, so close there. And in case you're wondering why I run a little bit lower than him on the straightaway, even though I know I'm not going to be able to get to his inside, it's because I don't like to go in right behind the AI or any other driver for that matter, human or AI, simply because it messes up me visually and I can miss my marks where I want to, you know, get on and off the throttle and the brakes and so on. So I like to give myself the best view I can, even if it hurts the angle a little bit. Also, if I go in right behind somebody and maybe I'm planning on driving it in deeper than he is, and I go in right on his back bumper, that could lead to a wreck real quick. So trying to avoid that as well. Alright, another good run. Yeah, just not enough.
tight there, driver.
I tried to hold it there. He was pinching me off, but I thought maybe I could hold it there. Didn't quite work out, though. It was worth the shot, though. 31 laps to go. He's fast in all the right places to keep me behind him. But I think if we could ever get by him,
Hang tight there, driver.
I was completely out of the gas right there and still almost ran him over. But yeah, I think if we could ever get by him, then we could yard these two guys. Alright, so we keep working at it. There's another good run, but not enough. And you can see that's brought Jordan Anderson. All this playing around has brought Anderson right back to us. And right here, I'm a lot faster than him. Alright, here we go. Woo, once again, so close. All right, now we're closing in on 25 to go. Part of me's thinking really seriously about that outside groove, but I keep thinking if he'll just mess up one good time and allow me to get under him coming off the corner, then we'll have it. All right, another good run. So frustrating, 'cause we are right there. And I'm sure Joe is sitting in that truck thinking, I really wish he would back off. But it is not going to happen, because that would take the fun out of it. Oh yeah, good run here. Good run. Sorry, Joe, you got to give me a little room this time. All right, so we'll make the pass. Let's see if we can pull away. Hopefully we can. We got a lot of open track here. A lot of open track. So this gives you an opportunity to see sort of the divide in the field about speed. You know, the back half of the field. Then once you get just inside that first half of the field, there is nobody around, because the first half of the field is a good bit faster than the second half of the field for the most part. That's why restarts are so important, and trying to get all you can get on restarts before it gets all spread out like this. All right, Anderson's really hanging with us pretty good. I was hoping to be able to pull away, but with 22 laps left, he is right there with us. All right, 21 left. All right, I think we're catching that truck a little bit in front of us, but of course, are we catching him enough to, in 20 laps, get to him and pass him? Because right now, that is our sole mission, is to run this guy down. But it is very odd to be at a 1 mile track like this and only see one truck in front of you. I mean, like, there's nobody in front of him, so he's got a huge gap in front of him as well. And what that tells me is that it would not surprise me to see the leader start running us down, because obviously the leaders have to be out there somewhere, and they're a lot closer to being on our tail than they are in front of us right now. I forget exactly how far off the pace I was in qualifying from a quick race car or a fully upgraded car. I forget exactly what it was, but I want to say somewhere around 1.3 to 1.5 seconds per lap, something along those lines, I think. We were certainly in no danger of having a good qualifying effort. Alright, so it looks like we're starting to pull out just a little bit on Anderson, and at the same time, we are getting a little bit closer to that truck immediately in front of us. Alright, so at least we don't have any fuel worries right now. We know we're not going to run out of fuel. We got plenty for that. Alright, we need to catch this guy in front of us. We need to catch him. And I'm sure Anderson's thinking the same thing about us. He's really wanting to catch us. Alright, now I'm starting to see some trucks. And, I mean, they could be lap traffic, but again, we're running 19th. So it's not like we're setting the world on fire, so it's kind of hard to believe. I mean, just look at the string of cars, though, that are running nose to tail up there. This is not Talladega. They should certainly not be running anywhere close to that. Alright, 12 more trips around. And boy, it will be a hornet's nest if we do catch that group that's just in front. You know, wouldn't it be something if we got to that group and it turned out that there's a lap car that's at the front and that's holding everybody up, and the other lead lap cars won't even try to pass, so they're all just going slow. Yeah, there's a lot of cars in that group. We're going to call that one a gaggle. Alright, so it does look like we're going to catch these guys. The question is, what happens then? Alright, so our goal position was 10th. Not quite. Not quite. And now we have one long, continuous train of cars. And then right in front of that is another long, continuous train of cars. So thankfully we're coming to the end of the race, because this destroys the immersion of the racing for me, seeing it like this, because that's certainly not even remotely like it would be in real life. So we're just going to hang it to the outside out here, and we're just going to see what we can get. Maybe we can pick up some positions, maybe we can't.
Still there. Need you to stay up high here. Stay up high. Careful. Still there. Careful now. Still there.
Alright, again, we're just going to keep it going. Oh, I thought Kligerman was coming right up into me. I actually thought we were wrecked right there. I was expecting it.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
That's one of those brace for impact moments. Look at that. Ooh, Chavis is coming right up on us. But he left us some room there, so good hard racing. He's fighting for positions, I'm fighting for positions. Alright, well, we're up to 15th
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
in this draft line of cars.
Hold a good wheel here.
Oh wait,
Don't
I see
move.
smoke.
Stay high. Still there.
Oh, this is not good. He's going to be right in front of us. And no caution. Okay, so...
Inside.
Wow. Somehow we managed to stay off of everybody through all that. That was a close
Still
one.
there. Need you to stay up high here. Stay up high.
Got a little bit too high in that corner. We're still running 14th. I was really thinking that we were going to be losing some spots when I saw that smoke. But it turned out really good for us.
Track's all yours, bud. You're clear.
Alright, I think we're clear. Yeah, it looks like we are. At least we were. If I can get back down there, we'll be fine. And one more time.
You got one to go.
And there's our friend Coughlin. We're going to try to get by him. See if we can come home in 13th. Lucky number 13.
Still there.
Oh, nope. Drove it in there a little bit too deep. And I think that's going to keep us from doing it.
Careful. Still there.
Did we get him? Yes, we got him. Right at the line. So we'll bring it home 13th. That is a far cry from where I thought we were going to finish, as this race was in its midway point. So 13th. Very nice. 19,944 is what we already had in the bank, plus 23,716 for our finishing position, and our merch payout, most importantly, is $19. We cannot forget about that. So that's going to put us up to $47,000. And is that going to be enough money to upgrade our engine? I can't remember. All right, let's get back to the main screen and finish this video off with a summary. So we pick up 22 fans, certainly like that, and we'll find out. Oh, we got a message.
Hey, that was a tough race. Hang in there, and you'll get them next time.
That was not a tough race. I thought we actually did great. So I know we were supposed to finish 10th. I don't know how we were going to get there, but we just didn't have the speed. But okay, we'll keep our head held high and we'll go at it again. So my best friend in the whole world is Neil Pittler, such a great, clean, and professional driver. Now, once again, we did make some contact with people at that race. In fact, multiple times. But all right, so we will take these compliments and be very happy. Poor Jamie Mosley wasn't there for picture day, so he gets a shadow. All right, we will take it. And now let's see what's next on the agenda. Looks like we're going back to the Xtreme Dirt Tour for the short track at Texas. So thank you very much for joining me. And next time we'll be headed back to Texas in the Dirt Series, and we'll see what sort of simulated results we get there. And then one more truck race after that. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our Making It Fun gameplay series in NASCAR Heat 3.